Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Jordan here, broadcasting live from Rubicon Studios from the beautiful downtown Newark, New Jersey. Today we have with us a very delicious treat, all the way from California by the way of Far Rockaway, New York. We have with us today Ms. Salkis Re. How you doing, Salkis? What's happening?
Hi, Bill. I'm fine. I'm fantastic.
Okay. And so we're going to talk a little about, we had an extensive conversation yesterday, and we're going to try to, bring some of those issues up and talk about your work. Is that okay? Is there a light in your face there?
No, I was trying to raise the volume on my device here, but we're good. We're good.
Okay. So tell us, here's something I didn't ask you yesterday. Tell us, Salkis. What's happened? What's the origin of that name? How did that come about?
Well, it is it's African origin. It actually means liberator of the breath of Re. So it's like a perfect name for everything that I stand for, because liberation and freedom are the things that I've been chasing my entire life. So it's my title. It is definitely befitting of who I am. Definitely.
All right, very good. So how did you get into the arts? It looks like you've been doing it for a while. This looks like a nice piece. By the way, what is the name of this piece?
The one the one behind me? I don't know which one you're seeing.
No, the one that's on the screen.
The one that's on the screen is called Black and Comely. That's the title of that one, and that's in my Black Queen series that I'm currently doing. I don't know how many are going to be in it. I'm just in that vibe right now, so I've been creating a lot of sort of Victorian style African queens, you should say, or Moorish influence and that sort of thing.
No, what do you mean Moorish? I don't understand. Moorish. Where do the Moors fit into this?
Because the whole regalia and that time period where they ruled Spain and all of Europe and that sort of thing. I wanted to tap into that and kind of plug in some images that we don't almost see from that time period. So.
Okay, and so what motivates you to do that? Why are you showing us this time in our lives?
Why am I showing it? Because I feel there's a deficit in regalia connected to us. I think as Black women, I'm referring to. I think we are a little bit over sexualized a little bit, and I wanted to kind of shift it over to something where the images aren't about sex so much. It's about love. It's about admiration, reverence, all the things that I just don't see synonymous with us. I think, we're sexy, we're built for pleasure, that sort of thing. We have that down. But this aspect of it, I don't see enough of. I see sassy and aggressive and that sort of thing. And I wanted something delicate. I wanted something soft. I wanted something that really, when you look at it, you just don't think of sex. You think of respect, love, difference.
But isn't that going against the grain, sort of like?
Well, as I, check out, other artists and see what people are doing, I would say, yeah, it's going against it a little bit, because it seems like, I don't know, to get people excited, sexual images do excite people. It's very easy to do. You don't really have to be that great of an artist to arouse people if the images have anything to do with sex. From what I can tell and how I see people respond, it's like automatic. Anything having to do with that is going to get attention, and it's going to get people thinking about their pleasures, so they like it, that sort of thing. So I feel it does go against that, but it's where my head is at. It's what I want to represent. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing.
Okay, so like, and the name of this piece again, I forgot.
Black and Comely.
Okay, and now what period is this from? Is it like 14th century, 15th century, or just a general feeling you're trying to capture?
Most of the my inspiration right now coming from like 15th century pieces, 18th century pieces, where the regalia was just big, gaudy, lot of jewelry, just over the top theatrics, and I wanted to do my own rendition of that.
Hmm. Okay, and so like now one of the dominant things about your work is that these eyes. I mean, what's up with the eyes?
Well, it has a few meanings. One of which I will keep to myself forever. I can't really reveal that. But other than that, what I held to myself of what it truly means to me are the obvious things. It's just, they convey innocence, again, delicate, loving, open, that sort of thing. And that's something that I'm very interested in, and it means a lot to me that my images are soft, are innocent, are open, that sort of thing. I don't want anything synonymous with sass or aggression. I steer so clear away from that. Making the eyes big, it instantly makes them sort of childlike and just open.
And so how does how do your fans respond to this particular treatment? I mean, you must have a lot of people like this stuff, right?
A lot of people like it, and I have people who have said it scares them.
Yeah.
That the eyes are too intense for them. So I don't know. With my work, you either love it or you hate it, that sort of thing. You love it or you're bothered by it. So I get a little bit of both. I get people who like it, but they just can't take the eyes. It's like the eyes, they have an issue with it. And I have other people that feel like the eyes are healing to them.
Oh, okay.
A sense of connection, soul connection with it. And they're on a totally spiritual path with the work. So I get full spectrum of feedback on it, full spectrum.
And so what are some of the comments that some of the people who find your work challenging, what do they say to you?
I have been told that they look possessed, like possessed, like devil possession, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have been told that I shouldn't be depicting them this way because exaggerating the features makes people lose the experience of the work. I've been told that too. Like, I have a responsibility to show us beautiful, and I'm squandering that by making the features so exaggerated. I've had people tell me that too, and I was like, hey, I'm an artist. I can do what I want to do. I thought that's what artists are able to do, is what they want to do. So I found it real funny getting some of the feedback. Some people really felt like they just felt like it was demonic, and like, where, how, like, but.
Well, I guess it's like, you see what you want to see, you hear what you want to hear, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And on the opposite end, I've had long conversations with collectors, tearful, very emotional conversations over the work and how they see themselves in the work. And, they would tell me stories of whatever the artwork triggered in them, a memory of some incident that happened when they were children, that sort of thing. And it gets into a really emotional exchange with them. I've had people connect with it on that deep level. I have healers that use my work in their practice.
Really?
Like for meditation purposes, they will have clients actually focus on the paintings themselves to get their mind into, some kind of sort of concentrated space where they're thinking about one particular thing. So it's like a meditative point. So, I've had other artists actually buy it to put in their creative spaces to inspire them to create.
Wow. So you, despite that people find your work challenging, you're really helping a lot of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you take the good and, the other stuff and you deal with that, and it is what it is.
How is it that you got in? I mean, it's like back in Far Rockaway, were you studying art as a young person? Did your family help you, or how did you get into it?
I've always tinkered with art all my life. It didn't get intense, like a really need to create until I started life coaching. And I wanted to actually write and do a book series of self-help stuff, and looking for illustrators, looking for artists to help me put together the concept for the book. I couldn't find anybody who could do anything the way I envisioned. I couldn't resonate with anyone's work. So then I started kind of putting together my own little storyboards and drawing stuff out. And before I knew it, I forgot all about the book, and the art it just took over. It just took over me. And we're full circle now, because actually I have a book. I'm hoping that I can get it out at the end of this week. I'm having a few technical issues, but I have an ebook that I'm getting ready to launch.
What's the title of that book? What's it about?
Oh, Who Do You Think You Are? And it's an exploration into
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you
Wow.
are?
That's great.
Subtitle is when you tell the truth, then you won't have to think, you will know.
Uh-huh.
And it's when you start being honest, you that's when you know who you are. That's when you come into the fullness of your power. That's when you become an independent thinker and not one who feeds off of the approval of other people. Because that's something I find it's synonymous with so many of us. So many of us live mostly our entire lives seeking approval from other people, and we never actualize our full potential because of it. So the book just goes into short little scenarios about how you can exercise or coax yourself into becoming or discovering who it is you are, giving you permission to be who you are and to find out what that is, and to be comfortable with being alone. Because sometimes when you figure out who you are, you may lose a lot of people in the process. And I find that's one of the reasons why so many of us are afraid to show who it is we are, because it's like, will they understand me? Will they love me? Will I lose love?
So you're saying that people should know who they are, is that right?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this question now. Get ready for a shock. I'm gonna shock you now. Who are you?
Okay.
Who are you?
Hi. Who you see? So in one word, I am a woman who had hated herself the majority of her life, who had tried to be other than what she was biologically meant to be. And because of the pain and the trauma from seeking approval from other people, trying to pull love out of people who didn't love me, I had to go within. I had to find a sense of value within myself. So I'm the person that has transformed my pain, my self-inflicted loathe trauma and all that kind of stuff because I have to take responsibility. I have transformed that into who it is I am, meaning I'm independent of what anybody else thinks of me. I don't ask anybody to do anything. And I'm okay with being alone. Whereas before, it wasn't like that. So I have utilized everything that I've gone through to now display my art, coach women. I've helped women, come back from suicidal thoughts and all sorts of things. So
Oh, yes. Tell me about that. The lady that you helped, the young lady who was going to commit suicide.
it was this more than one. It's a few, and most times what I find is that these suicidal thoughts are kind of interwoven around some type of love or lack or severing of a relationship of some sort. Like they can't emotionally handle the separation of someone who said they once loved them, and they sort of fall apart.
Now you mentioned yesterday that to some degree your work has the women, the faces have a little bit of sadness in them. Is that right?
Yeah, some of them have a bit of sadness in them. Yes.
And why is that?
Well, because the stories, mostly all of my work are stories about love. Trying to find love, losing love, hoping to get love. That sort of thing. Because that was my entire life too. Trying to beg people to love me, approve of me. Think I'm beautiful. That sort of thing. So
It's obvious that you're beautiful. I mean, why do you have to prove that?
Why do I have to prove that?
Yeah.
Because people put you in a position when they feel that you are a certain level of value, you want them to accept you. So you try to go above and beyond where they put you, the class that they put you in. And we talked about this yesterday, the whole colorism thing and stuff comes up. I mean, I've been through that my entire life. It's not something that I'm conjuring up in my head. It's something that's very real.
So for those people who weren't privy to our conversation, and we don't want to, go too deep into it, but let's take it real deep. What about the color thing? What are you talking about? I mean, you're an attractive woman. I mean, guys are swooning over you. What are you talking about?
Well, growing up as a dark-skinned woman, it was made known to me what, as far as my beauty was concerned, where I fit in. I did not fit in. I was teased and, isolated from other people based on my skin tone. How I interacted with people and how they interacted with me was very different from other people. And I noticed that. And it was either direct, you're black and ugly, you're a monkey, you're, an ape, or, I've heard it all.
People would say those things to you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then later on, you grow up now and you meet guys and they tell you, well, you're not my type, but, there's something about you. And I'm like, why would you would say that? I mean, now I would take that as an insult, but back then I took it as a challenge to prove that I'm just as good as.
All right. So now that's what I want to talk about. That's right. So now so now, I mean, is that what makes you part of who you are in the sense that, hey guys, look, I'm going to show you who I am?
It is. I'm not in a mode of proving anymore. That's the thing.
Right. Okay.
And I only found peace when I stopped trying to prove.
Okay.
Now I'm just me, and it just happens to be, something people, are curious about or whatever. I attract people in because of me just being me. Because I find that it's a lot of energy expelled trying to prove things, because you can't prove anything to somebody who doesn't feel that you're worthy anyway. You know what I mean? People
Well,
have their
how does that feel? What the difference between now and then? What's the feeling? How does that make things different for you?
free. I feel free. I feel free and able to express myself exactly as I am. And I actually feel finally beautiful now because I'm of
Well,
that.
I guess that stays like, if you think you're beautiful, you're beautiful. But if you don't, you're not, right?
I mean, that's what it is. If you don't feel that way,
Right, right.
you're going to get into extremes to feel that way.
But
And that's what
aren't you fortunate, because that's the process, like, like a metamorphosis. Like, you go through a stage when you're not really feeling that way, and you strive and you struggle and you come out, hey, I'm this way. It's a great feeling, right?
it's a wonderful feeling because before that, it's like you're walking like you're in prison every day.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like a prisoner in your own skin. That's what it felt like. So right now, it's just I'm free to be me and do what I want, whatever that is.
So back to the sadness and the pieces. I mean,
Yes,
the sadness and the pieces are a reflection of what happened before, right?
it's a reflection of stories in my life. Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at another piece. We got this other piece here. Um, this young lady here. She is the princess. Is that what she is? What's the name of this piece?
That one I can't see. Let me see what you're
Can you see that
showing.
one?
Hold on. I don't see what you see right now.
Okay, let me resume share. It's paused. Okay, so I got to go back.
Okay.
Stop the share. Okay, gotta go back and screen share again. I'm gonna go to this one. You see it now?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's my baby girl.
Oh yeah. Why do you call her your baby girl?
Well, they're all my babies, all of them,
Okay.
all of them. I affectionately call them my children.
Well, by the way, how many children do you have?
Say that again?
How many children do you have? You have a daughter, right?
Oh, that I gave birth to? Two.
Yeah. Oh,
I have two daughters. I have a 10-year-old and a 24-year-old.
my goodness. And you're only 23, right?
I had her when I was 19.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, young bride.
Okay, so back to this lady right here. What's happening with her?
Well, she's a part of the Queen series there. She is called The Throne. And this is another love story, about her waiting for someone to come, her knight in shining armor to come and rescue her from the throne, actually, because she really didn't want to assume the position because it would mean foregoing the true love of this man that she loved, but he was a lower class.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was lower class, so she had to do her duty and marry a highborn, someone in high. So, but her true love was out there cutting grass, and she was hoping he would just steal her away, so she wouldn't be have shame in her eye for stepping down from the throne and looking weak and all that stuff.
So she's like saying, like, I'm royalty, but I don't feel royal. I don't want to be royal. I want to be me.
I want to be with the love of my life is what
Right.
she wants to be with. But she chose the throne because of the security that it offered her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it was between true love and security. So that it's a play on that. That's a decision a lot of women have to make, choosing between, what the emotions of the heart and what's practical. So that's what I did a play on.
Right. I guess in your coaching, do you find that a lot? Does that some way give you additional insight into that particular concept?
With my coaching, a lot of these women are just trying to get the love back into their relationships. It's like the fire and the passion has gone, a lot of cheating going on, a lot of deception and manipulation going on, and they're just trying to figure out if they have something to salvage. Should they fight for their relationship, or should they just move on, go on?
So how can a woman or man, be more romantic? Because it seems to me we're not living in a romantic age. We're living in a very realistic or some surrealistic era.
Yeah, it's realistic, and I'm really simple in that regard. I'm not terribly romantic, which could be strange for some people because I'm a poet too, and I talk about romance a lot. But I guess in the traditional sense, I'm not.
You are a romantic. Look at your pieces.
Yes. So I have that, but I guess the whole process of dinner and candlelights and the whole setup kind of thing, I'm not really into that too much.
Oh, gee, when you broke my bubble, I was gonna do the dinner thing, the flowers, the candy.
No, you not with me. Not with me. Romantic with me would be a deep conversation early Sunday morning while it's raining outside and we're snuggling, we're talking about life. That's romantic.
You know what? A tingle came over my body because in my fantasy, I have a place just like that where you're cuddling up by the fire, and it's like that type of energy. I feel you on that. That's cool. Okay, but I don't mean to take the light off for you. Let's get back on you. Um, so that's your sense of romance, like maybe Lord Byron type romance.
Yeah. Not the traditional, all that we got to go out and do X, Y, Z. That to me, that's not romantic.
That's a business. That's a hustle.
Well, yeah, it is. But I really find that the passion thing tends to go out the window because people use it as a crutch. They use sex and the whole passion thing as a crutch for boredom, for frustration, for fear, that sort of thing. Very, very rarely are people getting together because they really, really want each other. It's like in place of something else, and when you do that, passion would definitely cease to exist after a while. People become complacent and they become bored. Boredom definitely sets in because they just, it's like something to do. Like roll over, you're here, you might as well.
Is that wham bam, thank you, ma'am, right?
Yeah, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And I think there's something to be said for withholding, for holding back a little bit, for just pulling back for a while and not satisfying your urge every time you get it. Let it build. But people want that instant satisfaction. They want that gratification now, and they feel like it's a weakness if they don't get what they want right now. They feel it's weak not to get everything once.
So now, is that due to the society that we live in? Like we're in like a push button society.
We are instant microwave food. That sort of a thing. Yeah, I think it's societal. So I think people need to, pull away from the influences of what's out here that's considered normal, and understand, human nature and human behavior. You're going to have a point where complacency and boredom will set in. If you eat your favorite food every day, it's no longer your favorite food anymore. And that's with everything. Anything you have all the time becomes something that you can do without, period. And that's people also. So you want to reserve yourself. You want him to earn your attention sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. You may have an urge to fulfill, but it'd be better for you to hold back as well. Hold back for yourself. So I truly believe in that. And I think the reason why passion takes a nosedive is because everything becomes a routine.
Well, now it seems to me that, you're passionate and your art shows passion to me.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I can do a piece and see what I was thinking during different stages of it.
Okay.
Like if
Okay,
I'm upset.
let's look at this piece right here. Could you share with us what you went through at different stages?
This one, let me see. I gotta see what you're looking at.
It's the
The
same.
one that same one?
Yes.
Well, with that, the theme was love. So, throughout the whole work, I was thinking about love and the sacrifices that are made for it. And how a lot of women go through life unfulfilled, trading one thing for the other and not being able to have both. Because I went through that too. I went through relationships that I chose for stability, and I didn't have an emotional connection to the person, but I felt it was more logical to go for stability over love.
What does that feel like? What kind of thoughts, what kind of world were you living in? How'd you do that?
Well, when you get hurt, when you go through the emotional turmoil of hurt, you try to figure out how not to get hurt again. And I thought, going the opposite pole of being emotional and just being straight logical would help buffer me from getting hurt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's why I did that, and I still wound up getting hurt anyway. Still wound up the same. The relationship wasn't any better. Emotions come into play regardless. Once you share yourself and you share your body and your life with someone, it's unless you're a machine, you're going to have some emotions there.
Yes, of course. Right.
Yeah, so I found that that wasn't a solution. Just to go for stability and not have any sort of care for the person, this didn't work either.
So back to this piece. So you were thinking along those lines when you did this piece about, because this woman's trapped, like you were trapped. She chose stability.
Yes, she's beautiful. She has, servants, and she's royalty, but yet she's in prison to her own emotions, not being able to fulfill her wants and her deepest desires. Even though she's a queen, she's trapped. So that's what I was thinking about. The compromises of love.
Mm-hmm.
Was mostly.
Well, so let me ask you this then: what is love? Is love something where you have to have compromise, or maybe the word love is not what we mean when we say that?
Well, I think love is passion. When we're talking about two people who are intimate with each other, love in itself is passion. And that's really what it literally means, passion. It means passion, it means desire, it means libido, like how much I want to have sex with you. Like, if I really, really want to, I'm really, really in love. you know, and when that passion is no longer there, then usually it means the love is not there too. It means love is not there too. So most of the love stuff really has to do with how passionate, how emotionally caught up a person is with another person. You know, that's really what it is. The other stuff is care and concern. I want what's best for you. That's care. That's caring.
Okay.
But love and love is passion and desire. That's what love is between man and woman.
All right. Well, that sounds, you're very passionate about that. Sounds good to me.
Right.
Okay, so now, is there anything else in this particular piece that, you know, warrants discussion about what you were doing at that time, what you were thinking?
What else was I thinking? I also wanted her to be, you know, darker tone, because as I told you yesterday and we talked, you know, my thing is with all of the pieces that they convey a vulnerability. So, and delicate softness, and especially a level of vulnerability. I did not want anything synonymous with sass. So even though she is royal and she's sitting there in her regalia, there's a vulnerability there. And you see that in the work. So that's something that I do think about heavily when I'm painting is a person viewing it, are they going to want to hold her? Are they going to want to, you know, protect her?
Right. So in other words, it's like you mentioned before. I want to get back to this other topic in a minute. It's called self-love, but you mentioned the word sass. Now, why are you anti-sass? I mean, what's up with that?
Because of how we are looked at in the media, you know, we are always the loudmouth sidekicks in movies. We're never the object of affection and love. We are never the one who needs protection. We're the ones that beat up the men. I'm just saying that's what it is. We're always beating up somebody, and we're always, you know, extra aggressive and you know, just dirty mouth and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to counteract some of that, you know. And I think for me, a lot of it really goes back to my own experiences coming up and how people assumed they needed to treat me or not treat me based on how I looked.
Uh-huh.
You know, I felt like, you know, the urge to protect me, you know, take care of me, just people seem like they didn't need to do that for me.
Okay, because you were not a person who needed that, or?
Well, you know, I'm a tall lady, you know, I'm not a shorty. I'm tall, and
How
you know, I
tall
have
are
this,
how tall are you? Basketball tall or what?
not basketball tall. I'm 5'10".
Okay.
And you know, the voice is a little bit deeper. I'm not, you know, I don't have a high pitched voice, so that's going on there. And you know, coming up, it was just assumed that, you know, I could beat people up. People just automatically assume that.
Really?
Like, you know, you play basketball, you know, oh, you look like you beat up. You know, I've had people say that. You look like you beat people up. Like, no, I'm very soft and delicate now. Don't get it twisted.
That's a cool thing. People stay away from you, right? They don't bother you.
They do, but then you find it in terms of relationships now, it's not cool. Because you don't get the door open for you, or your bags held for you and that sort of thing, people assume that you got it.
Oh, okay. So now, but you are an independent woman, though, right?
I am independent, but I'm a woman. I'm a
No, no, no,
woman,
no,
and
no. Right? No, don't get me wrong. I admire and respect your independence. I think it's a good thing.
yeah,
So so in other words, like you got caught in between, right?
yeah, yeah. Caught in between. I am independent because I have to be. I have to be. I'm independent because that's the only way that, to me, it seems that you don't get taken for granted is when you can hold your own. Anytime someone feels that you are dependent on them, it seems like manipulation and usury follow close behind that.
So I
They, you
remember
know,
yesterday you said that independence is like being empowered. It's empowerment, right?
it's empowerment because you get to choose. You get to choose, but it's also a necessity because people they treat you a certain way when you need them.
Okay,
They treat you like a charity case when you need them. There are times in life where you need people,
that's
and you
right.
don't want to like you owe them if you need them. And sometimes people will make you feel like, okay, I'm going to cash in on this. Like you created a debt here that I'm going to cash in on.
Is that like a 5-year debt, 10-year debt type of?
I don't know if it's a 5-year, 10 year, but it usually comes around quicker than that. It usually comes around quicker than that. I'm independent, but I'm very traditional too. Like, I grew up, my mother didn't work. She stayed home, raised us. My father went out to work. So I grew up in that kind of environment. So, uh, the traditional sense, I liked what it did for me, you know, coming up. So I always come home and my mom was there, always had a meal, and, that level of care that I got. I like that. I can see the benefit to that, you know. But on the flip side of that, there is a benefit to independence too. You really get to choose what you want, and you're not pigeonholed to compromise, your morals, your values, and whatever
So,
else.
so tell me, what did your dad do? I mean, you told me the story about him singing with the big shirt and everything. Tell us that story.
Well, my father, coming up, he was, came from a real poor families, a single mom of six. It was six of them, and he was the oldest of them. And he would sing, for a couple of cents. He was the neighborhood singer. Like any event, like weddings and stuff like that would happen, they would call him because he had a beautiful, great voice. And there was this one particular time where the bride had requested that he come and sing, but he didn't have pants on. Like he had one of them long, really long shirts, almost like a dress, like a long shirt on, no pants, no shoes. That's usually how he went around his neighborhood. This is in Trinidad. We're from Trinidad. So when he went to the wedding, the husband had hoisted him up to his shoulders to put him on the shoulders, and he was so afraid that the shirt would blow up, blow the shirt up and show that he had no pants on and no underwear on anything. So he sang his heart out so they wouldn't want an encore. They would be satisfied with what he did and he could get out of there, you know. He told us that story, and he would tell it to us periodically. But I knew it was shameful for him. It was like pride in that he had the ability to sing, but also shame that he was poor, And I guess with his upbringing, it was like, you grow up and you do something respectable with a steady income, and he was a construction worker, but he wanted to be a singer.
Oh,
And
okay.
he really was in the mood, when he was really feeling good, we would know it because he would start singing.
Oh, okay.
But he never got a chance to actualize that dream because reality and society said that you do construction. That's what you do to take care of yourself and your family. Don't get into this
Now,
lofty.
he was a draftsman, right?
Yes, 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 and an artist in his own right, because I remember coming up when he would put, additions or stuff in our house. Like, he would draw it out on the wall first, and then he would, buy the materials and stuff, like there was a bathroom. He built our whole bathroom, and he drew out the whole plans on the wall, on one of the walls in the room where the bathroom was going to be. And I was looking like, well, are you going to color it? Are you going to keep that? He was like, no, this is just, I'm just trying to see where I'm going to put everything. And, so he was an artist too, but he didn't look at himself like that.
Okay.
He didn't look at himself like that because it wasn't practical. It just wasn't the normal thing to do when you grow up and you do some kind of trade.
As I look at this piece, I see your father, his, can I call it, his loss.
Okay.
Sad for not being that singer.
Yeah. He died with that dream unfulfilled. He did. And when I have moments where, I'm challenged and I'm just exhausted from certain things, I think about him, and I think about the sacrifices he made to take care of his family, and the dreams that he died with. And I say, I don't want to do that. And I want to actualize everything that I can and live on, take his dreams that he couldn't do and live it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just go on with it. So I use that as inspiration for me to get through challenges of my own.
You have challenges?
Yeah, there are times when, you just, things are not going your particular way, and you just want to say, forget this, and
yeah, you want to go to Mars and be happy, right?
Yeah, send me to Mars. Give me a one-way ticket to Mars.
Yeah, And you ever hear those people talk about? We spoke about this yesterday about bragging rights. Yeah, when I was growing up, we had to walk 5 miles each way. And that guy says, I ain't nothing, man. We had to run 20 miles each way. Well,
right.
I said, well, you guys were lucky, man. I didn't have any feet.
Oh man, yeah. Everyone's trying to outdo each other in their trauma.
Right.
Whose story is more traumatic than whose?
Right. Okay, so let's move on to another piece here. I'm going to put this one down, and I'm going to bring up your. Can you see that piece, or I have to go back? Right? Can you see this next piece? Little girl. Can you see that one?
I'm seeing you. I don't see. Let me see.
Okay. Just share screen again, and we're going to go here. You see her?
Oh yes.
So speak on this piece. She's a cutie pie.
Thank you. That one is called Isabella Doesn't Want to Leave. And she was outside, summertime, outside playing with her friends. And her mom calls her in the house, to come and wash up and get ready for bed. And she's hiding in between the houses. She's hiding behind this wall from her mom because she doesn't want to come inside.
Oh.
That's that one is.
And I could relate to that. That's a sad look. I don't want to go, mommy. I don't want to go. I like that.
Yeah. So that was just a childhood moment I wanted to capture, because that summertime, that was pretty much every day was like that. Because sometimes you don't want to go in the house. You want to play and
That's
play.
right.
And you don't have, so Yeah, that's what that one is. Isabella doesn't want to leave.
Now, I meant to mention this before, but your eyes take after that style, that manga style, the
Manga?
yeah, manga, the big eyes.
Yeah, I've been told that that it reminds people of that. More so of this other artist called Margaret Keane. She had that movie called Big Eyes. I haven't seen the movie though, but Tim Burton made a movie about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's an artist. She was doing children with very large eyes, all ethnicities, back in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
And I hadn't heard about her until maybe about 3 years ago when I did this art show, and this guy was like, "Have you heard of Margaret Keane? Your work reminds me of her." And I looked her up, and I was like, "Wow, really, really beautiful stuff." And it's all children, and the theme with all of them are the big eyes. So I get that all the time. Like, are you, as Margaret Keane, your influence?
Right.
Which she's not. Actually, my daughter is my muse. My daughter has big eyes.
Oh, okay.
So she's the one that, she will pose for me, and, most of the times reluctantly, because it takes time and she doesn't like to sit there, but I use her to model, different positions and stuff like that for me. But she has the big eyes, so she's my muse.
So, how much do you pay her an hour?
I pay her in love.
Oh, you pay her in passion and love. Okay. All right.
No, and actually, she's an artist in her own right. She's an artist herself. I'm trying to get her to finish. She has a book she's writing too,
Really?
and she does illustrations and all that stuff. Her goal is to be a New York Times best-selling author. To have a series.
This is the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh man, she got some big goals. That's great.
She does, and she can do it. My thing now is just trying to get her to respect her talent, because a lot of times when things come easy to us, we tend to neglect it or just take it for granted. And it does come easy for her. Like, she can just look at something and draw it and paint it,
Well, Pablo Picasso, right?
Yeah.
You heard of that guy?
Yeah.
He has at 14, he was doing masterful work because his father had taught him. His father taught him how to compose, how to design, and so I don't know. I think it's called the Communion. I think it's called the Communion. And in that piece, he uses his sister as the model, and his whole family's in the piece, including himself. And he does this. And I'm saying that maybe that's how you could approach, the work with your daughter.
Maybe so. I'm really trying to get her to get her first book completed too, so we can get this thing going, because she's an excellent writer.
Cool.
Like, she can do humor, she can do suspense, she's a poet, all of that.
And she's 10 years old?
She's 10 years old, yeah.
Going on 50, right?
Going on 50.
Yeah. Wow, man, good for you. I mean, you producing these geniuses here, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't teach her how to do anything now. She did it on her own. Like, she pick up a pencil and a piece of paper, and she'll just draw stuff out. Even now, I can't really teach her anything, because we bump heads. It's like, I'll tell her to do something, and she'll say, "Well, no, I want to do it this way." So I just leave her alone.
Right.
And she does it the way she wants. So we can't even work together. That's
Whoa, okay, all right. Too many cooks in the kitchen, huh?
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. I try to tell her what to do, and she just looks at me like, that's not what I want to do. So, that's
okay. So now, see, we have another piece to look at, right?
Okay.
Let me look at another piece here. We have, we did 3 pieces, right?
Yeah, we did.
And so we're back to the original piece now, and I'll bring that back so we can, wind up on that piece. There she is.
Yes.
And I really, after having the conversation with you and going through the pieces, we have a better understanding of what you're doing and how it relates. I can see that now.
Right. And that's what I want people to really understand where I'm coming from, because people have their opinions and their notions about what they think I'm trying to do. And I've been like I said, I've been accused of being too cartoonish, with my approach. And I'm like, no, it has to be this is me right now. I don't know what it'll be 10 years from now. I don't know what it'll be 5 years from now, but this is what I want to convey: the softness, the delicateness, the love, the worthy of love. I want you to look at them and feel like they are worthy of love. And that's
I just get an overall feeling from you, the sense of vulnerability. I think you mentioned that before, that, it's part of the package, that not only in the work, but you also.
Yeah, because people, they assume. I mean, look at my look now. I'm not, the typical whatever out here. So I find that people assume so much of me. I've been called a man hater a lot, and
why is that? Why do people call you a man hater?
Well, when I advise women, I speak truthfully. I don't speak optimistically. And I think that might be misinterpreted as, just pessimism, and that I, have a hatred for men, which I don't. And if people just take a little time to look deeper, or even ask me, like, talk to me, you will know that this is not the case.
So
the only is that truth is not pretty. It really isn't. And what we're optimistic for is usually it's cloaked in irreality. It's cloaked in
what we're optimistic for is these beautiful paintings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the balancing factor. It's all about all the experiences that tie them to this image, to your images, and and I can see that even within the beauty, there's always that possibility, the vulnerability of, like, the people not liking something or someone, but so when someone sees you with a hat and stuff like that, what happens? What do they think a certain way about you? They talk to you, they run away. What do they do?
Well, I'm usually they don't run away. I get stares. I do get stares though. And I'm used to it now, but like when I head out, it's usually people just looking and trying to figure out what's going on. What's going on here?
So what do? You smile at them and say, "Hey, how you doing today?"
No, I mean, I look. If they offer a smile, I offer one back. I may offer it first, but not always. If they want to talk, they talk, and if they don't, they don't. But I'm open. If you approach me, I am approachable, but I just don't. I guess I don't look that way.
So suppose we're going to have a lot of people looking at this stuff, and maybe there's a guy out there who finds you attractive, who wants to approach you. What would be the best way?
If a guy wants to approach me, what now?
What would be the best way for him to do that? In other words, like, you're walking down with your gear on, right? You walk down, the guy's there. I mean, oh, I know you. I saw you in the interview.
I mean, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything special. Just, hey, how you doing? I don't know. I don't know. Just whatever they feel like. I don't know, but just not be afraid and just don't assume that I'm not approachable.
In other
That's
words, oh, in other words, keep it real, right?
keep it real. Just keep it real. You don't have to be any particular way with me. And I prefer you to be natural in your normal self. Um, you don't have to do the extra flattery and all that kind of stuff.
Of course, no candies, no flowers, but books and nice retreats.
Yeah. I like a good conversation, you know.
Okay.
I get excited off of knowledgeable people. If I can learn something from you, that's more impactful
Yeah,
than
that. I think, as I said yesterday to you, that's like, the thirsty man in the desert. How often do you come across that situation?
right. So I find, the approach is always, hey queen this, queen that, and
Really?
yeah, some that try, yeah, the hey queen stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, I'm a queen. That's great.
I would be saying you're like, hey cowgirl, what's up? You got the hat.
Well, yeah. I would expect that too. That one is use that one up too. They
Really?
use that. They use that one up too, or tell a joke. If you can make me laugh, because I find that people that are funny, there's a level of intelligence there. When you're funny,
Yeah.
when you can, then your mind is you're a broad thinker. You pay attention to things. I find that people that are funny are very observant and stuff. So I enjoy being around comical people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you tell jokes?
No, I don't tell jokes. If I'm talking, something funny may come out, depending on what the person is saying. I can, I'm witty, but as far as telling jokes, no, I don't know any jokes to tell, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, is there anything else you want to talk about that people should know? I mean, to make people love you more.
Love me more than they already do.
Yes. Yes.
Um, what else? What haven't we covered? It's just that everything that I do is from my heart. It is from my heart. I don't do anything unless I have, you know, real emotions for it. Like I can't just sit down and paint for no reason. I have to be telling a story. And
Okay.
it has to be something relatable to something I've actually been through or witnessed or whatever. But it's usually something that I've personally gone through that I kind of marry into the work itself. So there's a certain level of emotion there. And if I'm finding it hard to conjure that up, I may play a song or something like that to get me into that
Oh,
emotional.
right. Get you into that space.
Yeah, like I have to get into, like, I don't know why, but I have to be a little emotional while I'm painting, or I just can't do the work.
Well, I guess that's
So
like being passionate, like being in love, like you have to love what you do.
you have to love what you do. You have to love what you do. I'm not one of those artists that I'm trying to be creative. It's not about being extra creative or anything like that. It's just simply about putting some type of emotion on that canvas.
Oh, I love that. Okay, cool. And actually, that's what it's about. It's the emotion, the message or the feeling conveyed that's important. And if you're having people cry over your work, I mean, kudos, man. That's great. That's beautiful.
Yeah, if somebody's crying, that means I did my job. That means I actually
Yes.
I wanted to feel it.
Right.
I want to feel what I'm feeling. And when that happens, it's such a satisfying thing. You feel like, okay, you're really living in your purpose now because you're able to connect with somebody with this work that, you know, was a blank canvas before. And now this person is choked up over what
Yeah.
I've, you know, and I said, like we were talking about yesterday, I said that in itself is magic to me. What I do is magic.
Right.
I'm a magic practitioner. And I use my canvas and my paintbrush as my magic wand. It's magic to me, you know. If you're doing it right, you're supposed to make somebody feel what they didn't even expect to feel.
That's right.
When
That's right.
when you do the art right.
That's right.
So that's my thing. I consider myself a magician of sorts.
Well, you know, there's not much more to say about that because you're doing it. I mean, you're spelling, you're conjuring spells, making people get into themselves. They're crying, they're coming at you, and you know, all that good stuff that's going on in your life. So, where do you see yourself maybe like in 5, 10 years from now? You're gonna be staying in California, moving to Hawaii, or what are you gonna do?
Oh, you said Hawaii now. That's a nice thought. That's a nice thought. I don't know, Bill. I definitely know I won't be in California. I'm a bit of a drifter. Every 2 years, if I could, I would move every 2 years. That's you know my energy. I get I don't know, feeling like I gotta go. I just gotta go. Nowhere feels like home to me.
Okay.
Nowhere.
Right.
So I'm always looking for the next place to go. So I'm hoping, I don't know, I've been thinking about Arizona and I've also been thinking about Alaska. I just,
Oh!
I don't know, but I've been thinking about Alaska really hard. Although, you know, the cold is something, being in the
Yeah,
cold
man.
too good, but I'm really feeling like Alaska, I might be able to do it. So I plan to take a trip out there soon. I have a girlfriend that's out there that's been dying for me to come, and been doing a little research on it.
When are you going? I mean, if you go now, it's cold up there.
I don't know when. I just been doing a little research on it. I don't have a date as to when. I gotta actually talk to her and find out when would be the best time to go. I want to go when she can, you know, spoil me with attention.
Oh, okay. All right.
Around and get the full experience of it. So it'd be depending on what her schedule like is when I'm gonna actually go and scout out and see. But those are the two places that I'm considering moving to next, and
Okay.
hopefully enough to stay. I would like to be somewhere permanently at this point, but if not, I'll just be on to the next.
Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, you're still permanent on the art. Let me see. Now, I think we did all the images. I think yes, we did. Let me go back. We're gonna put this one back. All right. So this is how we're gonna. Let me do my. Here's share. Yeah. Let me share. Okay. All right. So this is the one we're gonna end up with. You see that one?
let me see. Oh, the Black and Comely one?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So this is Bill Jordan here live, broadcasting from Rubicon Studios. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this episode has been brought to you by Academy of Composition. Academy of Composition is a place where serious artists go to hone their skills and be better artists. And later episode, we'll talk more about that. But right now, I want to say thank you, Salkis Re, for being with us and sharing these very private moments with us.
I know I feel so exposed.
I know it's like the fan dancer, right? The fan dancer is now no fans. But You know,
Can I say my website too? Can I say my website?
oh yeah, yeah. How can people get in contact with you?
You can buy from my online store at www.iloveherart.com. That's iloveherart.com.
Now, I thought that's so ingenious. I mean, like I said, this woman's a genius, man. Whoever thought?
I am genius.
What would you say?
I said I am. Yes, I am a genius.
I was gonna say I should call my website ilovehisart.com, but I said no, I can't do that.
Why not? Why not? You better go see if the domain is available.
Yeah, right. So it's like his and hers, right?
Why not? Hey, you can do it. You can do it.
So now they can also get you on Facebook, right?
I'm always on Facebook. You can look up Salkis the Healer is my name on Facebook. That's SALKIS the Healer. And
you have any shows coming up?
I have well, I have to see. I have actually a play that I'm supposed to be doing next month, the first week of December. There's a couple of actresses that are going to actually bring to life some of the characters, some of the artwork.
Really?
Yes. So I will give you the details.
Are they gonna have painted masks, or just like they're gonna be doing just thespian?
Like monologue kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And just like the stories that I've told you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that should be great.
Yeah, they're gonna do like little mini skits off of each.
And where's this gonna be?
It's gonna be in LA. I don't have the address in my head right now. I'll have to give you that information, but I will be posting it up on my Facebook page. So
okay, all right, cool, man.
Facebook, and I'll be making an announcement of the date and time and all of that. So look out for that shortly.
And like this is just one of our many posts that we're going to do together. I know you're going to be doing some great work, and I'm always always invited to come back and share with us your latest developments.
Oh, that would be awesome. I really enjoy this interview. I don't really do much of these. I'm very kind of to myself. So
what made you go for it this time? What was it?
Because I like you, Bill.
Oh.
I like you. I like the way you question. I didn't feel I felt comfortable with you. So that's why I went with it. I've been asked to do I'm asked to do interviews all the time, and if I'm not comfortable, if something is off, then I'm like, it's easy for me to say no. Like I can say no easy. But
I have to tell you a story. I saw one of your videos about you were talking to the women about something. I said, "Wow, I gotta talk to this lady, man. She's right."
Videos? What? This was on Facebook?
I think so. Yeah, Facebook, or it must have been. I don't know if you're on YouTube, but yeah, it must have been Facebook. And you were talking.
I have a YouTube channel too now. I post up videos every week on my YouTube. Just look for Salkis.
I don't remember, but I just said, well, this is a unique person. I want to talk to her. It's good.
Okay, so you never know who will find you. You never know.
That's right. Right. You put the message out, and hey, I'm here. I've been waiting for you. Where you been?
Oh, okay. So that's how you found me.
Yeah. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to close out here, and I'll talk to you people later. Salkis, just a second. I want to talk to you privately.